Dick Evans Memorial Bike Race.
Characteristic of the biggest cycling race in the Pacific. KITV Sports presents the 5th annual Bud Light Dick Evans Memorial Bike Race. Hi everybody, this is Scott Swan of KITV Sports, inviting you to join us for a special hour-long look at the most exciting cycling race that Hawaii has to offer. Close to 1,000 cyclists will take the tour of Oahu, some 112 grueling and yet very scenic miles. During the next 60 minutes, you'll travel with these athletes as they pedal their way down the streets of Waikiki, up through Pearl City, through the North Shore, around Kahuku, down into Kaneohe, and finally past the finish line in Hawaii Kai. You'll see the sights, you'll hear the chatter between the bikers, and you'll feel the excitement of the 5th annual Bud Light Dick Evans Memorial Bike Race. Of all the participants, some will just try to finish, while a select few will actually battle it out to the very end. The Trade Winds team will have a tough time against the many weapons from Oahu Cycling. Ray Brust, Tony Gill, Sean McCann, and Chris Sayer have always been a group of very tough customers.
You know, we don't protect any one particular person. Everyone's got a shot to win.
We have maybe 3 or 4 guys that could possibly win the race.
You too will get a chance to see Oahu. Now that you've met the cast of characters, get set for the start. The 5th annual Bud Light Dick Evans Memorial Bike Race is about to begin. This is Scott Swan. We're in Hawaii Kai, just getting set for the start of the 5th annual Bud Light Dick Evans Memorial Bike Race. Want to bring along our cycling analyst today, Don Mueller, a triathlete and cyclist. Don, should be a very exciting race.
There's no question that we've got some hot riders out there today. We've got Thurlow Rogers from the mainland. Thurlow rode on the 1984 Olympic team, and he's going to really be setting the pace and dictating a lot of the tactics out there today. Some of the top riders locally that we have are Steve Wright, Kelly Beck, Rick Baza, Ray Brust, and Tony Gill. All of these people are going to be riding very hard today. This is a very important race for all of them. It's probably the last major race of the season here in Hawaii, and people want to win this one. It means a lot on their record to be able to do good here today.
All right, Don, we're looking forward to a very exciting race, and we'll hope you stay with us.
Jen, see you later.
If the cyclists had any idea of seeing the sights along the way, the place to do it would be during the first 29 miles. That portion is fully controlled. No attacking, no braking. The motorcycle escort keeps the pack together until Kinea Road. One other item of interest, the several hot spots along the way. Now, during various points on the course, hot spots are marked. The first rider to the hot spot wins a small amount of cash. Call it incentive. Pocket a few dollars and speed up the race at the same time. We're at the 10-mile mark at Atkinson and Ala Moana, and Don, you've seen some things develop there?
Well, what happens in a road race is that tactics are going to win the race, and even though this is a controlled start all the way out to Kinea Hill, what I think has been happening, I've noticed, is that Team Bikeway has had a rider up at the lead all this time, and they may be pushing the pace a little bit faster than what people normally would expect at this point. And by doing that, by having the pack stay together but at a slightly higher pace, it's going to tire people out. It'll either tire them out when they get to Kinea for the hill, or it'll tire them out at the 75 or 80 mile mark. So I think this could be a tactical ploy on the part of Team Bikeway.
The man for which this race is named was Dick Evans, one of Hawaii's top cyclists until he died back in 1982. His life was taken while riding to work on his bicycle at the young age of 37. Friends say he lived on his bicycle. His world revolved on the 2 wheels and a bicycle frame. He pedaled endlessly in Hawaii, Because of his love for the sport, friends originated this race. And every year, these athletes ride in his memory. We're at the 18-mile mark on Nimitz underneath the freeway. And, Don, why don't we explain drafting right now?
Well, if you look at the riders, they're all strung out behind us. And by sitting behind someone, sitting in their draft, so to speak, it's just like a race car. You can save energy. The other person is braking the wind. You're in a more aerodynamic position, and you can actually go faster. Now, the ideal thing would be for this whole group to be rotating very evenly. So you take a very short pull at the front, and then you fall back in again. By doing that, the pace can go even faster. Right now, what you're seeing, though, is because this is a local race, the guys aren't rotating as smoothly as you would see in a professional race.
Now, this is still the controlled part of the race, so what is ideal for some of these cyclists is to stay in the middle of the pack?
That's a good place to be because that's where you can save the most energy and you don't have to take any pulls at the front. One of the things that's happening, which is just what we talked about in our first report, is that people are setting a faster pace right now. I talked to some of the guys in the middle of the pack and they said, wait, who's setting that pace up there? We don't want to go this fast this early. The pace right through this area by the airport was 27 miles an hour. That's very fast this early in the race. That's being done by the lead riders, though, because they want to burn people off. They don't want them sitting waiting for the finish.
Ah, the smell of sugarcane must mean we're at Kinnear Road, about 30 miles into the Dick Evans Memorial Bike Race, a very critical part of this race.
Well, this is where we'll expect the lead riders to try to break up the bunch. Right now, you've got Sean McCann from Oahu Cycling taking the lead up here, and already Rick Baza and some of the other top riders are moving into this position because you've got an eight-mile uphill climb here, and this is where you want to find out who's strong, who's here to race, and who's fit.
Where do you want to be in the pack as you're coming up the hill?
You want to be in the top 3 or 4 guys coming all the way up here. There's not much headwind in front of you. Drafting doesn't have any effect at this point. And if you're a strong hill climber, you want to break away from the other guys. If you're a weak hill climber, you want to get ahead of the strong hill climbers so if they pass you, you won't fall so far behind.
Any psychological games going on now with huffing and puffing and that type of thing?
I don't think so at this point in the race. If this was a hill later in the race, you'd see that kind of thing. What you see right now are people riding flat out as hard as they can up this hill.
And how many riders do you anticipate we will have in a bunch at the very outset at the end of the hill?
My guess today is that we'll have 20 to 25. I know some of the lead riders would like to have it down to a smaller pack of maybe 5 or 6, but there's a lot of depth in this field. I think there's more depth in this year's Dick Evans than I've ever seen.
Okay, 8 miles of a Kinnear Road. We'll get back to you in just a little bit. Well, we're at about the 32-mile mark now, and Thurlow Rogers, one of the national cyclists, has really opened up a big lead here, Don.
Well, Thurlow rode in the 1984 Olympics on the Olympic road team, and he placed 6th there. And that was a very difficult, hilly loop course that they rode about 9 times. And he has the strength to just hammer hard on the hills, and you're seeing that right now.
Some feel as though he may be the real speedster, the real rabbit in this race.
There's no question he's the class of the field today, and this is going to be an excellent opportunity for the local riders to test themselves against a national caliber rider.
All right, now the guys that are a little bit back, maybe 100 yards back, what are they thinking at this point? It's too early in the race, really, to be concerned.
I'm not sure about that, Scott. I have a feeling a lot of them are wondering, how the heck can that guy ride so fast up this hill? I'm killing myself, and this guy's pulling away from me.
Well, we'll see if he can continue it. Again, Kinnear Road still have about 6 or 7 miles to the very end there.
Dick was the kind of guy that you had fun hanging around.
Hawaii cyclists, look as good as you are and save on bicycles, clothing, and accessories at the Bikeway, 250 Ward Avenue.